Hoy!
Ba't ganyan?
Ha?
Ba't sisira yung aircon mo?
Alin?
Ba't 28?
Malay ko!
Patayin mo na yan! Gaga ka talaga.
Ha?
Pero sira ka ba?
Hindi mo alam! Nariyan yan eh!
Gago ka. Ibalik mo sa 24. Ay, mamaya na lang. Ito na, dito na.
Bakal mga bibi dito.
Ha?
Ano?
Wag mo na pa. Ano rin? Gago
Ba't ko naman gagawin yan? Hindi man nainip.
May, nangangamoy eh. Sila ulo. Nangangamoy, overheat yan eh.
Baka inapakan nila eh. Bakit yun na yung 28 yan? Inapakan muna. Laro ka nito. Natutulog ako kanina eh. natulog? Ma!
Sandali na lang.
Ha?
Sandali lang. Tinutulak mo nga si Bigger.
Snap po, ano?
Tinutulak niya si si Mudya.
Ba?
Tataka siguro nakikita niya si Mudya.
Ha?
Tataka siya nakikita niya si Mudya.
Saan?
Wala kasi Bigger.
Ano ba yan?
Hindi may Mudya. Nakita mo si Mudya?
Ayun siya, oh.
Sino?
Snap.
Nasaan? Nagluto ka doon? Ako nagbukas ka na ng gripo doon?
Ah.
Ano si Bibi Girl? Dali. Yeah.
Na.
Dali yung pagkaan. Bibi Girl. Hoy, Bibi Girl. Ayo.
Hmm?
Lagay mo si Bibi Girl dito sa taas.
Snap. Snap. Na. Na.
Yo,
Ah!
luminom silang dalawa.
Binak. Binak. Oh. Yeah. No. No.
Today I will be showing you my mom's Taiwanese fruit step. Squeeze about 2 oranges and first step recipe. First step, squeeze about 2 oranges and warm it up in the microwave. Add your favorite fruits, pomegranates, apples, lemon. Squeeze about recipe. First step, squeeze about 2 oranges and warm it up in the microwave. Add your favorite fruits, pomegranates, apples, lemon, or blueberries, whichever fruit. Now, add and fill up your teapot. You can add in the sweetener to the pot, but I like sweetener to the pot. You can add in the sweetener to the pot, but I like to add it to my cup at the end to control the sweetness for each cup. Add some green or black tea leaves and let that steep for about 7 minutes, or to make it easier, just add a tea bag to your cup. I like my teas very strong, so sometimes I'll even add 2 tea bags. Lastly, add in some sweetness with some organic honey to keep it somewhat healthy. Let me add in some sweetness with some organic agave or honey to keep it somewhat healthy. Recipe, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos coming soon. Or to make it easier, just add a tea bag to your cup. I like my teas very strong, so sometimes I'll even add 2 tea bags.
The last one is this one. So always fresh and real. So the tea air was the global one. The milk tea smoothie was the local one. This one's the super local one. Only in this store. So this is the first series. After this, we'll try to change the fruits. But for now, it's mango, banana, and pineapple. Sugar and ice options. Except smoothie. There's no ice options for smoothie. But sugar you can.
Nothing quenches a summer thirst quite like a tall glass of homemade iced tea. Classic iced tea. So, longer iced tea, feel free to use a few more tea bags. It's totally off the zest of my lemon. What you want to buy immediately. Standing by, some green glasses a day addictive while it steeps.
Hello and welcome to the Vegetarian Baker. On this episode we are making fruit tea. She does. So if you guys enjoy some of these examples, matcha scones, filet raspberry. To start off, for one family size tea bag. To start off, in a medium saucepan, we're going to pour in the water, granulated sugar, and orange slices. Boiling, we're going to throw in the tea bags and let it steep for 5 minutes. While the tea is brewing, we're going to cut the pineapple and peel and core. Through a cheesecloth or a nut bag until all the juices are out and the pulp. In a serve chilled or over ice. Thank you guys so much for watching my recipe for my mom's favorite fruit tea. She enjoys it.
Random companies you've never heard of, but every once in a while the random gets so random that I sit up and pay attention. So this is GHT. I don't know exactly what they do, but they've got weird GeForce graphics cards with sort of, looks like they kind of came up with their own way of doing the NVIDIA logo. And they're kind of older ones, like they've got a GTX 650 Ti on display here, and then they've got a poster back there. Let's go have a look at this. One of the biggest selling points in their booth is apparently this X79 motherboard, but that's weird because Intel hasn't made any chips for the X79 platform in quite literally years. So what's the deal behind this? I would like to find out. So what can you tell me about this motherboard?
Yes.
NVMe support is not included in the BIOS of X7X, so that's the top-end chip for this platform. For their radiators, Corsair partnered with Hardware Labs, a long-time industry veteran. Fun fact, Hardware Labs was actually one of the first vendors that I ever placed an order with when I was working as a product manager at NCIX. So technically, I ordered with them before I was actually a product manager. I was still working in like the customer care area and answering support tickets about computer systems. So that's neat. I still remember when Bits Power came onto the scene. I was like, oh, so your entire company is making water cooling fittings? Good luck with that. And here we are, partnerships with Corsair. Now my test bench GPU is decidedly last gen, so I'm not gonna be water cooling my card, but I did wanna address some of the comments I made about this thing in my video where I upgraded my personal rig.
Welcome to another episode of Tagalog Thursdays. That's right, Tagalog Thursdays. I'm going to teach you how to speak Tagalog. Today's word is nung. That's right, nung. N-G, nung. Now, in the Philippines, they speak this language called Taglish. It's a hybrid language of Tagalog and English, and they fuse it together and they call it Taglish. Now, all you have to do is put nung in between two English words and you're speaking Tagalog. So if you're at the hospital and a nurse walks up to you and goes, hey, can I get you something to eat? And this is how you answer her back. And this is gonna blow her fucking lid. Just go, yes. Do you mind if I get a cheese nang burger? And she's gonna be like, you speak Tagalog? Apa? Hey, he speaks Tagalog. Cheese nang burger. Wow. There you go. Tagalog Thursdays. I'll see you next week for Tagalog Thursdays. Hey you guys, I'm Joe Coy, and this is my son, Little Joe. Look at that. Look at that smile. Oh, precious, right? This is Butt of the Joe. That's right, I'm gonna play some of the bits that I did about him on my special, and we're gonna see how he reacts. This kid has a debit card. He called me on a Wednesday one time. He's like, hey, Dad, there's only like 40 cents left on my debit card. And I was like, oh my God. Go fuck yourself. The only time I had a card is when I took my mom's credit card and I used it without her knowing. The fuck did you eat on Monday, asshole? Filet mignon? What, you walking into the lunchroom like a fucking nightclub? Ah, chocolate milk's on this motherfucker, let's go. Dude, have you thought about getting a job? Be honest.
Yeah.
Where?
Western Bagel.
Western Bagel. And you know what's gonna... My son's about to turn 16, and he looked at me with the straightest look on his face, and he goes, Dad, I know what I want for my birthday. Go ahead and look at the camera, Joe, and tell him what you want. Say it.
Car?
What? I know. Tell him the name brand. Make and model. Go.
Porsche. Macan.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. There's the thing about 15-year-old boys, man. He thinks he's being slick, and he's not. Like, Joe, I know what you did in there. What are you talking about, Dad? Well, I'm just saying, like, I was 15, and I know what you did in there. And you don't care. That's the thing. How many times do you take a shower a day? Just be honest.
Like at least once.
What? You liar! How do you know I didn't take a shower? Joe, you were in there for 30 minutes, and your hair is dry. At least I was like sly about it. At least with my mom, I waited till she went to work. But you don't give a shit. It's like right when we're done eating dinner, you're like, I'm gonna take a shower. Bought you a big bottle of Head and Shoulders, and it's empty. But you still have dandruff. What? It's Head and Shoulders, Joe, not dick in hand. That's that. We're cool, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna shake your hand after you just told the whole world that's what you do with your hand. Are you out of your mind? Go buy a towel with your debit card. This was the funniest thing you've ever done, and I had to talk about this on stage. He's got dark skin. Right? He's got the darker skin. He's been going to like a lot of other football games from other schools, and all the kids are asking him if he's half black. And he even came up to me like, Dad, a lot of kids think I'm half black. I'm like, all right, what'd you say?
Yes.
Why would you do that? I don't know, just like, they don't know. I'm like, well, how about when I come pick you up or something and they notice that you're not half black? He's like, well, just don't pick me up. Tell the camera what you told the teacher. She asked you what? How did you find out, right?
Yeah.
And what did you say?
23andMe.
23andMe. Because he saw a commercial and he's like, hey, Dad, let's get one of those DNA tests. Why do you want to get a DNA test? Let's just see, maybe there's black in the family, Dad. Right? And I go, Joe, so you told your teacher you were lying, right? And this is what he says.
No.
They still think he's a quarter black. So I got it. And we're gonna do it. And I hope, I don't know. I hope it comes back black. I don't know. If the results come back black, I'm just gonna be like, get the fuck out of my house. Go find your real dad. Who the fuck is this kid? I love this kid.
Do you know the way?
Promod. They currently have a sale, yung end of season sale, and can I just tell you, video, updated skincare. Hindi ko sure baka mauna to or mauna yung same AirPods app. First, I'm gonna show you the things that I'm bringing with me. So, a remote-ish area, so we have to cook our own food, and we all don't know how to cook, so we'll see how we'll survive. But first, I'm gonna show you the things that I'm bringing with me. Video is finally a summer getaway with my friends. We're gonna go to Aquascape. We'll stay there for 3 days. I'm super duper excited. I'm gonna be vlogging the whole experience. It's gonna be fun because it's like a remote-ish area, so we have to cook our own food, and we all don't know how to cook, so we'll see how we'll survive. But first, I'm gonna show you the things that I'm bringing with me. So, eto, I always go with the luggage because I don't like a heavy backpack. So, my clothes are here, my bikinis, my makeup is here, my chargers, camera. This is yung AirPods dupe, yung iGear, yung made in Korea. I'm linking it down below. This is just my Instax. My bags from Parfum na sobrang cute na super soft. Cleansing stick. Sobrang travel friendly nito. Ito yung variant na I'm using, but I'm bringing 3 so that I get to share it with you later or tomorrow. Promod, as in sobrang love ko to. For the rest of our trip, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys my outfits, and most of them are from Promod. They currently have a sale, yung end of season durable luggage. It's from Delcy. Actually, lahat ng luggage ng pinagpasan namin lahat ng grocery thinking na pag malapit na. Huwag nyo i-underestimate guys kasi ang laki niya. Like, it's super duper spacious. Like, ito yung money ko and I have coins pa. Super duper love this wallet. It comes in another white bag from them. This for cards. Tapos ito, para siyang coin purse spot. Sale and Parfum, may kaka-release lang nila ng bag. Ito yung money ko and I have coins pa. Super duper love this wallet. It comes in mustard and pink as well. You guys can check out Parfum as well for your accessory needs. Actually, meron din silang clothes. Marami silang bags. They have footwear. You guys can check them out because Promod has end of season sale and Parfum. Ano naging electric bike? Pa-explain.
Ito.
Pinitin mo to. Wait.
Wait, what? Ayoko talaga. Alam ko na hindi ko kaya eh. Ayan, so we're gonna do archery. Guys, tignan nyo yung target. Nakakatakot yung target.
Kayo? Sakay kayong tatlo, tapos pipicture namin kayo. What's up guys, it's Mega!
We're going to do the banana boat. Kaya lang, sorry, hindi ko dala yung GoPro. Wala akong waterproof camera. Lizard! Oh! Sobrang inaantok ako. Nakapagod talaga yung tubig. But anyway, dinner is served. Yummy dinner. Wow, ang sarap ng sausawan namin.
Babe, bakit naman sa kanila yung inihaw na niluto ko? Walang picture, kundi dahil...
Okay, thank you, Mickey, for the photos. Hi! You're smiling!
Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. Alam nyo, it's Bad Skin Syndrome. It happens in 1 out of 10 women, and usually yung 1 out of 10 doon, hindi niya alam na meron siyang PCOS, and there's no cure for PCOS. It's that you can only manage the symptoms. So uunahin ko, ano ba yung napansin ko nung hindi ako nagkaroon ng period for 2 months? Sorry, para akong school teacher dito pero pinakauna, I became so moody, and napapansin din ni Jello yun. Hindi niya alam kung bakit, kawawa naman yung boyfriend ko, pero I was able to reason it out. Baka moody-moody lang. Magsa-start ako, ovarian syndrome, it happens in 1 out of 10 women, and usually yung 1 out of 10 doon, hindi niya alam. Able to reason it out. Baka moody-moody lang, ganyan, kasi nga mga babae. Pangalawa, after those 2 months, biglang lumabas itong aking acne, pero pa isa-isa siya. So, starting first week of June, isa dito. Tapos yung acne, alam niyo yung wala siyang head or walang visible something. You cannot prick it out kasi sobrang lalim niya na root. And thankfully, yung scar ko, nagpa-flat naman siya. Sana wag siya mag-pit. Pero never pa ako nagkaroon ng scar na nag-pit out o parang lumabog. What else? Bago ko ipunta dun sa aking acne medication, I also noticed, pangatlong rason, that I gained 5 kilos. Just 5 kilos. Anong just 5 kilos? Madami yun 5 kilos in 2 months and that's not healthy. Hindi ako tumataba ng ganon. My usual weight is between 40 to 42 kilograms kasi maliit lang ako. I'm only 5 feet and pinakamataas ko na ata ever yung 47. So yun, and I've had enough of it. I went to my derma. Ipa-follow up ko na yung pagpunta ko sa OB ko because I don't want to self-medicate. Again, for anything else, one thing, please do not self-medicate. Yung mga ipapakita ko ngayon na medication, ito yung binigay sa akin ni Dr. Casey, pero hindi ibig sabihin that this will be for everybody. Iba-iba yung katawan natin, sa iba-ibang gamot nagre-respond, and sometimes, some people think, dahil nga biglang nakilala na si PCOS, na once nagka-pimple ka, may PCOS ka na. Hindi ganun yung guys, ha? Just going to moisturize my face. Kasi kahapon, galing ako malinis for my derma, and we did dermaplaning on me. Tinatanggal yung buhok, marunong din ako dun sa sarili ko. Pero nagaganon din talaga sila sa clinic, and pasensya na ganito akong maglagay ng moisturizer. Okay, peel, kaya ay sayang, nalagyan ko na ng moisturizer. Pero medyo mapapansin nyo, zoom ko I do not know kung mapapansin nyo na medyo nagbabalat-balat pa yung area na yan. Nalagyan ko na kasi ng moisturizer, sayang. But super dry ng skin ko dahil I did a cocktail peel, which is a natural fruit peel. So ayan na siya. These are the scars. Ito yung in-injectionan kahapon na pimple injection. Scars, and more scars over here. Ito yung mga clinic kahapon na baka daw maging acne pero hindi pa sure kung acne. Yun lang talaga. Itong area talaga na yan. Which I know was caused about by my PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. I'm going to put maybe a link kung ano yung polycystic ovarian syndrome na may maliliit ka daw na cysts sa ovary. Prevents you from ovulating, and when you do not ovulate, you do not get your period, and when you do not get your period, yung mga symptoms like weight gain, pimples, moodiness, depression, or whatever, marami pa. Tapos yung mga hairs, I do grow hairs here. Yan, kasama yun dun. So after moisturizing, usually I put my sunblock kasi may tint na yun. But ngayon gusto ko mag-foundation kasi may pupuntahan ako and namimiss ko mag-foundation kasi nga lagi ako naka-tinted na sunscreen. When I don't use my sunscreen, I have this one from Beauty by Freya or Freya at Glorieta 2. This is the Make Prem UV Defense Me Blu-ray Sun Gel. Open lang natin dyan. And ayan, nagaano lang ako lang gagamitin ko, mga ganyan. Still smells like sunscreen, pero ang bango niya guys. Pero hindi yung sobrang bango kasi ayoko rin gumamit ng masyadong ma-fragrance on my skin since I have a sensitive skin. This has SPF 50 PA+++, and yun nga, when I don't use my tinted sunscreen, pag gagamit ako ng foundation, ito yung ginagamit ko na base. It's a Korean brand and hindi pa siya gaanong kilala dito sa atin, pero gusto ko rin yung partner nito na ito guys, for the body naman. So ito yung for the face, ito yung for the body. And you all know that I hate lotion sa katawan. Ayoko na malagkit kahit dry skin ako. Pero ito, hindi siya malagkit but it still protects you. And yun nga, pinakauna kong gusto rito, hindi siya malagkit. Hindi talaga ako nagsusuot ng sunblock sa katawan dahil syempre alam niyo yun, throughout the day, talagang maglalagkit ka, papawisan ka, hindi mo maiiwasan. So ito yun. Ganyan yung itsura niya and super duper nipis ng ilagay. Ngayon, pwede ko siyang ipakita sa inyo. Ayan o, makikita nyo talaga na hindi siya malagkit kasi it's runny. Tapos pag nilagay ko siya, maglalagay na din ako ngayon bago ko lumabas. Ito lang talaga yung umuubra sa akin na sunblock pag hindi ako pumupunta ng beach. Kasi mga sunblock pang beach, malagkit siya para hindi siya mabilis matanggal ng salt water. Pero ito yung sunblock na for daily. Ayan o, makikita nyo naman na hindi naman siya sobrang makintab and hindi siya malagkit talaga, promise. So para sa mga katulad ko na takot mag-sunblock dahil ayaw ng sticky o feeling malagkit, ayan, ito. Katulad nito, meron din siyang SPF 50 PA+++. But these items works for me. Ilalagay ko na lang yung link nilagay sa baba. Okay, syempre, dahil meron akong mga pimple ngayon at kailangan kong pumunta somewhere, I still do like to use foundation. And sasabihin nyo, may acne ka na nga, magpa-foundation ka pa. Again, depende yun guys ha. May mga foundation na nakakapag-induce ng acne. But for me, this one, hindi ako nagkaka-acne dito. This is the Tom Ford Traceless Perfecting Foundation. Sure ako na hindi talaga sa mga products ko nakukuha itong acne. Kasi pag nagkakaroon ako ng acne from products, yun yung mga acne na nasa ibabaw lang, hindi siya yung malalim na parang bump lang, yung hindi mo matitiris na acne, yun yung nakuha ko ngayon. They call it the cystic acne. And then I'll be using my sponge. And yan, gagamitin ko na. Sobrang nipis ng foundation na to, kaya ako nagustuhan. Hindi niya ini-irritate yung aking skin. By all means, if you can avoid using foundation, if you have acne, then do so. Especially if hindi ka sigurado kung saan mo siya nakuha. Ang first step na gagawin mo pagka nagkakaroon ako ng, first step ko na ginagawa pag nagkakaroon ako ng acne, I stop everything, as in, pinapahinga ko yung skin ko. But ngayon, since I already have my medication, yan, nakakapush na akong gumamit ng makeup. This one I'm using is called the Ricky Cutie, and nalalagay mo siya into 3 light settings. Ayan, paliwanag siya pala. Masyado maliwanag. Yan na lang sa pinaka-light, and lagi ko itong dala-dala pag nagta-travel ako since, yun nga, may yun nga, hindi niya nagkakaroon ako. Hindi ako nagkakaroon. Ang haba ng name niya. Ang shade ko is Prevention is Better. Have yourself. Naman, ang tinit is dito sa pinaka-lower arch. Tapos pataas lang lahat. And then, after ko dito sa dulo, hinihila ko lang pababa. And then, dito naman ako sa taas. I start here. And then, pababang strokes na ganyan. I hope you enjoy this kind of and then sunblock. Ang hirap ng ganito, yung tipong wala kang magawa kundi hintayin yung results, kung magiging okay sa'yo. Yung mga ginawa ko before, naging okay naman. Yung YASP, yung isotretinoin, naging okay din, pero I stopped because it was
Lipstick ko na iba. Inugusto mo yung tubig? Panga?
Huh?
Recycle Bin. It's on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, iHeartRadio, just to name a few. All right, that's it. That's all about that. Now let's do the news. All right, so first up for the day, story numero uno. It was all a lie. It was a lie. The Huawei ban, the whole fucking thing was a ruse. It was a ruse. But of course, if you watch the show, we knew that. It was 100% a political move. This was not about security and fucking Huawei spying on us. Nah, none of that. This was strictly a political move by the US, by President Trump and whoever else you want to bundle together, against China. It was all about the trade war. And what do you know? After the G20 summit wrapped up in Japan over the weekend, President Trump spoke. Following a meeting with the Chinese president, Trump announced that basically they've just solved it. They made up. They kissed. Apparently, they're going to go ahead and resume trade talks, and Trump also said the U.S. was going to hold off on putting any new tariffs in place indefinitely. Also included in all that, he said that U.S. companies would be permitted to go ahead and work with Huawei again. They're going to be able to resume sales with Huawei. Now listen, as of this recording, that hasn't happened yet. Like, they're still blacklisted for now. So we don't really know when this all comes into effect again, when it's all good to go for Huawei and they're out of trouble. For now, they're still in timeout, but at least we know they're going to be out of timeout. Now, probably with my luck, we'll go ahead and put this episode out in the morning. I'll tell you that they're still blacklisted, but at some point today, that blacklisting will go away. That just seems to be how it would go for me. I will tell you that they're still banned, and then the government would be like, nah, and lift the ban. After I just told you they're still banned. But either way, this is complete proof that this was not a security issue. Just as I said, this was a political move. And now the politics have happened. So I'm really glad we wasted all our fucking time. All right, so continuing this I told you so train, in the last episode of Front Page Tech, we talked about Johnny Ive leaving Apple, and in that episode I made pretty clear that I felt that he was just phoning it in for the last few years. Like, it makes total sense that he was ready to leave and move on, do something else, because the man deserves it. He deserves it, good for him, but it makes a lot of sense because design-wise, Apple has been a little bit inconsistent, and it just seemed like Johnny was getting ready to leave. Turns out, I was right. Imagine that. No, God! For one, according to Trip Mickle, Johnny Ive was one of Apple's most important assets, but he grew apart with the company after Steve Jobs' death, frustrated by its operations focus, say people close to the company. Bloomberg also put out a report stating that Johnny Ive had actually started to sort of drift away from his responsibilities, play less of a part at Apple since the Apple Watch launched back in 2015. So effectively, since then, he just sort of had less fucks to give. Less and less fucks every year, which makes sense. I mean, around that point in time, Johnny Ive actually talked with The New Yorker and said he became deeply, deeply tired, and that the quote-unquote most difficult year for him was that year leading up to the Apple Watch. His most difficult year for him ever at Apple was that year. You know what else we got that year? Fucking this. Listen, like I said, great for Johnny Ive. He is one of the most talented designers that has ever walked the planet, and he deserves to just be able to move on and do his own thing. Of course, he's going to be working with Apple. We already know that. His company's first client is Apple, but now he's free to do other things, not just work on exclusively Apple stuff and design other shit too, instead of just incremental iPhone stuff, which is, you know what? Safe travels, Johnny. Hey, have you ever used AirDrop on your Apple devices? It's pretty much like magic. Like, that's not software engineering, none of that. That's just straight up fucking magic. Not everything Apple does is great, but AirDrop, oh man, so good, so good. And now Android might actually be getting their own alternative to AirDrop. So apparently they're testing a brand new feature that's called Fast Share that would allow you guys, Android users, to wirelessly transmit photos, text, just files, period, to a nearby device with Bluetooth. Hang on, listen, I can hear your little fingers, your little Androidy fingers down in the comment section just fucking banging on your keyboard. Wait, all right, I know. Okay, I know this isn't the first time we've seen something like this. Android Beam is a good example of them trying to do this before using NFC, but of course that required you to literally smack phones together. You had to physically touch the phones, which of course not all devices, not all Android devices on the market supported NFC. Google also allowed you within the Files app to do something similar to this as well, but you had to download another app. So this would be not only an alternative to AirDrop, but also native within Android. And I am all about this, honey. Like, if I could just take 2 pieces of bread, put that feature in between, bam, make a sandwich and eat it. It's so good. The fuck? I'm not gonna redo this take. I'm just gonna keep that. We have to live with this. We have to live with what I just said. All right, you and me. We're in this together. Toilet Squad for life. Why do you watch this show? And that's the show. Hopefully you liked it, you learned something. If you did, hit that like button. If you hate my stupid face, hit the dislike button. If you're new here, subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, okay, all right, yeah. It all makes sense now. Want daily tech news in a way that doesn't suck? Of course you do. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Front Page Tech, of course, show that gives you all latest tech news from one geek that is me to another that is you. Happy Friday. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk. A ridiculous amount of you guys bought the Toilet Squad shirt yesterday. You did this, you made this a thing, and I don't know if we should be proud or ashamed of this community. Again, this is a very limited run. Once this shirt is gone, it is gone. So if you want the super comfy t-shirt, you want the super comfy hoodie, click that link in the description below, because watching this show while you shit isn't just what you do. No, the Toilet Squad is about more than that. It's who you are. Okay, but for real, we fucking love you guys. Alright, so first up, story numero uno for the day. The biggest story of the week. Jony Ive has passed on to a different company. What, you think he died, you sick fuck? Jony Ive, after 30 years of Apple, one of the most creative geniuses on the planet, is leaving Apple. Of course, by now you've probably already heard about this, like you don't need me to explain it. He's starting his own company called Love From. And he didn't just walk out the door yesterday. I'm assuming this has been happening. This has been in the works. He's going to continue to be an executive at Apple for the next few months, the next 6 months or so. And even after that, after he has moved on to his own company, Johnny's not going away, because Love From's first client is Apple. Would you imagine that? So moving forward, Jony Ive in some capacity will still work with Apple on some projects, some exclusive projects. So I guess however many projects Tim Cook sits on the phone at 4 in the morning begging him to work on. Basically what I'm saying is Jony Ive is now Apple's side hoe. Honestly though, Jony Ive will continue to be one of the greatest designers on the planet for the work that he did at Apple, for the work that he will continue to do. Iconic products such as the iMac, the iBook, the iPod, the iPad, Apple Watch, the iPhone, and of course every other shitty Android phone that looks like an iPhone. Oh, and let's not forget those voiceovers, huh? Those dramatic voiceovers during Apple events that literally make any product seem magical and mystical. We'll miss that. Which brings me to this. I would like to put in our vote for the next person to take Johnny's place at those Apple events. The one person that deserves to do the voiceovers, the one person that has the voice and the passion to do those voiceovers and make any product seem magical and mystical. We here at Front Page Tech would like to put our vote in for Mr. Who's the Boss.
For the longest time, all we've wanted to do is to build a product that these Android manufacturers wouldn't blatantly copy. But look at this shit. They can't help
Windows
themselves.
1903, with its recent announcement and release, you guys have requested that I do an optimization guide, which I've done, and I'll put the link up here for that. But also, on top of that, there's a heap of new changes that didn't get mentioned in that guide. And today we're going to go through, I'm saying, and Windows Explorer also has a new icon, and the power menu has received icons too. Like, okay, am I actually on the new Windows up game bar? But you can also change your pointer color in towards merging control panels into this actually rotation available. Put them up on the screen for you, but there's also support for ADLM, Osage, Vietnamese, Telex, and VN.
Okay, I tell you to go Bluetooth icon settings over here, Bluetooth devices, but you don't see it. So if you did that and it doesn't show up, this is what you're gonna have to do to enable bar device manager, or get to File Explorer. You will see that it has on this, and this is the less typing version of this. So you're gonna go to File Explorer, click on that once. And when you get to File Explorer, you will see that it has this PC right there. You're gonna right click, not left click, right click. Right click on that, you'll see this menu open up, and then to the bottom it will say Properties. Then you're gonna go into Properties, and this opens up. When you click on Properties, you'll see this other window that opens up, okay, Windows 10. And you're gonna go to where it says Device Manager. You click on that, and another window opens up. When the other window opens up, you'll see a list of all your devices and all that cool stuff, right? So from here on, you're gonna see where it says Bluetooth, big and broad. If it doesn't show up to the bottom right, it just basically means that this guy here, Dell Wireless, is currently it's not enabled. Okay, you have to enable it. You might probably see like one of those exclamation mark icons over here. All you gotta do is right click on this thing and disable it, and then wait a while and then enable it again. From there on, it should show up to the bottom right, and then you can access it, and from there you'll be able to pair your Bluetooth devices from here on. I have done a video of pairing LG Bluetooths to Windows desktop, so if you're interested in that, do look at it for more better guide and so on. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you are still lost, just leave the comment section and I'll do my best to help you. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe to TechEmpty by clicking the
help you. So without any further
properties. First, Command Manager.
As many of you know, the new is how you can get it, the Windows Update Assistant. And then from the search result, if this new update is available for your computer. What do you do then? And to do that, simply go to this download page from Microsoft and then copy that update now to download the May 2019
Can you trust Front Page Tech? Hey there, friends on YouTube. My name is Jason. Sometimes.
Do you know the way? Do you know the Huawei? Want daily tech news in a way that doesn't suck? Of course you do. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Front Page Tech. Of course, the show that gives you all latest tech news from one geek, that's me, to another, that is you. Happy Monday, huh? There's no happy Mondays. Hey, real quick, before we jump into the episode, just a quick heads up. Our podcast, Recycle Bin, is back. For now, though, it's audio only. We don't know if that's gonna change. Maybe, maybe not. We just published my favorite episode ever. For the first time ever, I interviewed Brian Byrne, the editor of this show and co-owner of Front Page Tech. We talked about a lot of deep stuff, like our earliest Front Page Tech memories, the struggles that we went through while building FPT, stuff that we've never said to the public. So if you consider yourself a fan of Front Page Tech, go ahead and download the episode on your favorite podcast app right now by just searching for Recycle Bin. It's on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, iHeartRadio, just to name a few. All right, that's it. That's all about that. Now let's do the news. All right, so first up for the day, story numero uno. It was all a lie. It was a lie. The Huawei ban, the whole fucking thing was a ruse. It was a ruse. But of course, if you watch the show, we knew that. It was 100% a political move. This was not about security and fucking Huawei spying on us. Nah, none of that. This was strictly a political move by the US, by President Trump and whoever else you want to bundle together, against China. It was all about the trade war. And what do you know? After the G20 summit wrapped up in Japan over the weekend, President Trump spoke. Following a meeting with the Chinese president, Trump announced that basically they've just solved it. They made up. They kissed. Apparently, they're going to go ahead and resume trade talks, and Trump also said the U.S. was going to hold off on putting any new tariffs in place indefinitely. Also included in all that, he said that U.S. companies would be permitted to go ahead and work with Huawei again. They're going to be able to resume sales with Huawei. Now listen, as of this recording, that hasn't happened yet. Like, they're still blacklisted for now. So we don't really know when this all comes into effect again, when it's all good to go for Huawei and they're out of trouble. For now, they're still in timeout, but at least we know they're going to be out of timeout. Now, probably with my luck, we'll go ahead and put this episode out in the morning. I'll tell you that they're still blacklisted, but at some point today, that blacklisting will go away. That just seems to be how it would go for me. I will tell you that they're still banned, and then the government would be like, nah, and lift the ban. After I just told you they're still banned. But either way, this is complete proof that this was not a security issue. Just as I said, this was a political move. And now the politics have happened. So I'm really glad we wasted all our fucking time. All right, so continuing this I told you so train, in the last episode of Front Page Tech, we talked about Johnny Ive leaving Apple, and in that episode I made pretty clear that I felt that he was just phoning it in for the last few years. Like, it makes total sense that he was ready to leave and move on, do something else, because the man deserves it. He deserves it, good for him, but it makes a lot of sense because design-wise, Apple has been a little bit inconsistent, and it just seemed like Johnny was getting ready to leave. Turns out, I was right. Imagine that.
No, God!
For one, according to Trip Mickle, Johnny Ive was one of Apple's most important assets, but he grew apart with the company after Steve Jobs' death, frustrated by its operations focus, say people close to the company. Bloomberg also put out a report stating that Johnny Ive had actually started to sort of drift away from his responsibilities, play less of a part at Apple since the Apple Watch launched back in 2015. So effectively, since then, he just sort of had less fucks to give. Less and less fucks. every year, which makes sense. I mean, around that point in time, Johnny Ive actually talked with the New Yorker and said he became deeply, deeply tired, and that the quote-unquote most difficult year for him was that year leading up to the Apple Watch. His most difficult year for him ever at Apple was that year. You know what else we got that year? Freaking this. Listen, like I said, great for Johnny Ive. He is one of the most talented designers that has ever walked the planet, and he deserves to just be able to move on and do his own thing. Of course, he's going to be working with Apple. We already know that. His company's first client is Apple, but now he's free to do other things, not just work on exclusively Apple stuff.